Hi, it's Carolyn. I'm here to help you learn how to bake and decorate amazing cakes. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to pipe this vintage heart cake. And I only use 3 piping tips to decorate this. Now I'm starting with my cake already baked, filled, iced, and it's in the refrigerator waiting to be decorated. I have tons of videos showing you how I do that process, and that will be linked below. And also all of the tools that I use will be linked in the description as well. So let's get started. I have these icing bags with the tips that I'm using already in them, and I'm just filling up the bags with the icing. And I like to fold the corners in, fold the top down, and then just clip the bag shut. And this pink is a combination of Sugar Flare Claret and Wilton Rose. And of course, the Sugar Flare Claret is out of stock. I used to get it on Amazon and it has not been in stock. However, I will try to find it and link it in the description for you. Now I got my cake out of the refrigerator. The icing is cold and hard, so I'm not going to mess it up. I have this tip 6B in here. I squeeze halfway down and then twist it so I have better control. And I'm starting in the very back. And when you do these shell borders, you want to squeeze and then let go of your squeezing as you bring it to a point. So I'm squeezing, lifting it backwards and pulling it forwards. And as I pull it forwards, I stop squeezing and pull the bag away. That way it creates a little point and it tapers your shells. So there is a thicker end and a thinner end. If you just keep squeezing the entire time without releasing the pressure, your shells won't come to a point and they will look a little bit too thick. So I'm just doing this all the way down one side. I just find it easier to do each individual shell, bringing it to a point. That way they are more uniform. And then once I get down one side, I'm starting in the very back again, and I'm doing the same exact thing down the other side of the heart. And I finish at the point of the heart. Now I have another icing bag with a tip number 21. It is an open star tip, and I'm doing a reverse shell border. So it's a question mark and a C. So you're turning the bag left and right. So you can see I'm turning it left like a question mark, turning it right like the letter C. Left like a question mark, come to a point, right like a letter C. And I'm just doing that the entire way around on the inside of that 6B border that I just made. Reverse shell borders are just so pretty. They are one of my most favorite borders. I used to do them all the time when I made sheet cakes and piped shell borders. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. So I have that icing bag with the 6B tip, and this is a much better angle. So again, I'm squeezing and then letting go of the pressure as I bring it to a point, coming all the way down to the point of the heart, and then starting on the other side in the back and coming all the way around the other side. And that looks so pretty. Now I have a 1M tip, and I was going to do reverse shells, so I started like moving the icing bag, and I didn't like how that turned out, so I just decided to do regular shells. So I am doing the same motion with the 1M tip, squeezing and lifting it back and then stopping pressure and bringing it to a point, coming all the way down one side, ending at the point of the heart, then starting in the back. Now when I'm doing this 1M tip, I'm making sure that the icing is touching the top of that 6B shell that I did underneath. And I'm just going to put a little rosette there at the end. And now I'm going to do the same thing at the top. So this is on the outside of the 6B shell that I made on the top of the cake. And again, I'm squeezing it, lifting it back, and then releasing pressure as I pull it forward to a point, coming all the way down the one side of the cake, and then repeating it on the other. And again, I'm making sure that this 1M shell border is touching the outer edge of the 6B border that I made above it, and I'm ending on a little rosette there in the front as well. Now I'm going to do a reverse shell border on top of the 1M border around the bottom of the cake. And this is sped up, but you can see how I'm doing the question mark, then the C, question mark, C, the whole way around. And look how pretty. I just love this reverse shell border. And then I'm repeating the same thing down the other side of the heart. And then I want to do a reverse shell border under the 1M shell border around the top of the cake. Question mark, C, question mark, C. You see how I keep turning it left and right. And now I have these dragées. I have 6mm dragées. They're a little bit bigger. I'll find similar ones and link them below. And I'm just grabbing some tweezers and I'm placing them in every other shell of the 6B shell border that I made. And that looks so pretty. Now I want to take smaller silver balls. So I have 4mm ones and I'm doing them in between the reverse shell border and that 6B border. Again, doing it on every other one. So there's a little stagger and I'm staggering them in between the larger balls that I put on there, doing that the entire way around the top of the cake. And now I want to put some on the bottom. So I have those smaller 4mm dragées and I'm just doing them every other reverse shell the whole way around. Now you don't want to put too many little balls on here. You can go overboard pretty quickly. That's why I like to just do every other one. That way it gives a nice little pattern. And now the customer purchased this and sent it to me, and it was kind of difficult to get out of the packaging. I just wanted to make sure that I did not break the piece, so I had to carefully open it. And I can find a Etsy seller and link them in the description. I believe she got this on Etsy. So I'm getting a little bit of piping gel behind these acrylic little words, and then I'm going to stick them on the top of the cake. And just pressing them down and making sure they are adhered to that icing. And look how pretty that looks. Now I have this white diamond dust by the Sugar Art and I will link this in the description. And I'm doing this out back because it turns into a huge mess. Glitter is going to get everywhere, but we have to make it sparkly. So I'm just shaking this all over the top and the bottom of the cake. Some is going to get on the cake board and I'm just going to keep it there because I think it makes it look really pretty. So I'm just trying to cover this entire thing with these cake sparkles. And look how gorgeous those sparkles are. Now I just need to get the ribbon around the board, so I have some non-toxic glue and I'm just getting it along the edge of the cake board and on the back of that ribbon, and I wrap it around. And then where it overlaps in the back, I'm just going to get down a little bit more glue and then press that ribbon down. And she wanted these little silver butterflies on here, so I'm just getting a little bit of buttercream icing in the center part and sticking that down to the cake. When I put the cake back in the refrigerator, that icing is really going to solidify and it's going to hold those butterflies on there really well. So I'm just placing them randomly on here. And here is the cake. Look how beautiful that is. So there you go. How pretty is this cake? I just love this design. And when I make these cakes, a lot of people ask about those toppers. And both of the times that I made these cakes, I had the customer order the topper and send it to me. That way they could pick out the one that they wanted. And I will link an Etsy shop in the description for you if you want to order toppers like that. Now this cake on the inside is a 3-layer, not torted, 9-inch heart-shaped cake. And I have a video where I talk about when I tort and when I don't tort my cakes, and I will link that in the description. And it feeds about 25 to 30 people. So I think that's it. What new techniques did you learn in this video? I would love to know. Leave it in the comments below. And just a reminder, I have recipe ebooks out with all of the recipes that I use. I have my favorite scratch pound cake recipes, my doctored cake mix recipes, all of the buttercream icing and filling recipes I use, along with my favorite numbers and my favorite fonts. So I will link all of those in the description. And I also have a Cake Academy membership program where I can help you elevate your cakes to the next level. There are 3 tiers to that program. The bottom tier is the Cake Pop tier, and you can get discounts on those ebooks, and some of them are also free. You get early access to YouTube content and access to exclusive video content that I post only for my Cake Academy members. And then the top 2 tiers have access to my exclusive Facebook group, and in that group I go live. I do tutorials on buttercream icing and fondant decorations. We do cake critiques. I give pricing advice. I post all of the pictures of all the cakes I make along with how much I charged, along with early YouTube content and exclusive video content. We're having so much fun in that group. I would love to have you all aboard, so I'm going to link that information in the description. Please like this video if you liked it, and if you're enjoying my tutorials, I would be so grateful if you could buy me a coffee. My link is down below. And I would love it if you would keep in touch on socials and you could check out my website. And if you want to stick around so you can watch this video next, and hit subscribe and the bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. And remember, it's cake, have fun. I will see you on the next one. Bye.